Welcome back to my channel, and today I'm making a label book. So I've done a few, let me just find one. I've done a few ephemera books that, you make something and then when you start using it you realize what you must change next time you make one. So this is one of those. So I made this huge one, a huge spine, because I figured there's a lot of ephemera going in there. Love the cover, and I might take this apart later and use the cover for something else. But this is the ephemera book. So I used packaging, the soft plastic packaging, right through the book. So this is like a belly band for the longer pieces of ephemera. This one is for the bigger pieces of ephemera. And a few mistakes, like you can see the glue here changing color, not nice. But anyway, a trial and error. So it's working and I'm using it, but it's big and it's bulky and it needs a place to stand. So not my first choice. Then I saw a video, and I can't remember if it's Louisa Heinzel or I don't know, but I'm going to check who it was, and I'm going to list a link to her video below so that you can see. The ephemera book she made was so cool that I decided this is what I'm going to do. So I took some old box and I cut 2 covers, and I cut some pages from my craft color cardstock, don't know what you call it, but it's nice and sturdy, so that's going to work. And then I looked at the size, because I want to make this for all my labels. If you're a junk journaler, there's always a lot of labels, and it was too big, so I decided to half this. So the new size, and I'm just looking for the covers, and these pages lying around here, the new size is exactly half that. So instead of cutting this in half, I decided I'll use this for a junk journal. Those covers, they'll be perfect. So this is the new size, and of course the pages, the little craft colored pages that will go in here. And it's a forever book. It continues forever. That's what I heard the lady call it, and it was so cool, so that's what I call it now. And of course I have some covers already cut for my paper cut for the covers. I will cover them and decorate them nicely, and I'll show you how we assemble this little book. So I started already with the pages. I use transparency. Use what you have. I will use the packaging again. There's nothing wrong with that. I did find, however, that it's very soft. Transparency is a bit more sturdy, so I cut some 2 inches pieces, some 1 inches pieces, because I have a lot of labels that's small. And although the very tiny ones, I'll put in a tin. I like to use a tin for that. I thought the tin was here, but it's not here. Nothing is here when I'm looking for it. It's a bit of a mess. And I also cut some 2.5 inches pieces, and also 3 inches. So it's the normal Dala glue, but it's the fabric glue. And I love it. It works perfectly for me on the journals. It dries a bit faster than the normal craft glue. And of course I put it in my small bottle gifted to me by my beautiful sister-in-law Anna. Thank you, Anna, for everything around me. Normally this was also a gift from Anna. This works perfectly with the small point. And I use a piece of press stick. A lot of people put a needle or a pin in there to keep it from drying, but it rusts so quickly. And of course we live in a coastal town. I am about 1 kilometer away from the ocean. Lucky me. So I use a piece of press stick, and that works perfectly for me. It doesn't look so good anymore, but again, when I was at Anna's house the other day, I got a new piece of press stick. So there we go. I hope the light is okay. But so I went ahead and I glued down most of them. Some of them have 2 transparency pieces, in other words 2 pockets. Alright, so I'm going to show you, I'll just make one with you, and then I'm not going to bore you by watching exactly what I do for 12 pages. It's not going to be nice to watch and listen to me chatting away. So what I'm doing then is, of course, I made some, I don't want to call it washi tape because it's not washi tape, but I call it washi tape for myself. So it's strips of masking tape that I put on packaging again, and then I paint it with whatever paint I have. This was very old paint, and I actually made a video on this quickly, and I'm sure I'll add it, but it's the old Making Memories paint. So I love to use this old paint that I don't really use for projects where I need good paint, if I can put it like that. And that's perfect paint, but it's just very old. So paint it, and then I use some stenciling with some green artistry ink, avocado. And then I did some stenciling, some stamping with Memento black paint as ink. So it's good to use permanent ink for this. It's always better. The avocado is not permanent, but it's fine. So I'm going to use these strips. I made a few. I'm going to use it to attach my pages together. But first of all, I'm going to finish all these pages, and I want to show you, I talked about a strip. So this is what I use. From your 12 by 12 scrapbook papers, there's always this strip at the bottom. I cut this, and I use it to secure these. I'm going to show you 1 or 2 that I already did. And I know some of them, like here. So I add here a strip of this at the bottom. I don't worry about the sides because the sides will get the masking tape. So I add here the strips down here at the end of the pockets to make sure they're glued down properly. And if I put tags or labels in here, they will stop there. So I'm going to finish all 12 these pages. And of course, they both sides. Want to get this together. I do them both sides because you'll see the Forever book. We use both sides of these. So this is my favorite mess at the moment. These are all the pages of the label booklet that I'm making. They all got the transparency and it's pockets galore. You can see a pocket and a pocket and a pocket, and I got all my strips glued down with scrap pieces of paper. Lovely. So now, how do we attach these pages? So I got more or less the same paper here. It was from the lovely Charbella paper range. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the masking tape strips. But I've also learned by now that we always put an extra bead of glue, although this is tape and it's sticky, we always put extra glue. So always to just find the end here. So what I'm going to do is we start with this one. Pockets at the top, and I'm going to put a thin bead of glue down. For the masking tape. I cut them more or less, or I tore them more or less the right length. They will always be a bit longer. So what we're going to do is take the next one. We're going to glue it on here. Always make sure when you glue down that your pockets are always facing up. I'm going to leave about an 1/8 of an inch. So make sure your right side's up. So we've attached the one side, all the pages, all 12. And now it is just exactly the same on the other side. So with the cover, decorating the cover, because we had no electricity, of course. It's South Africa and it's load shedding. So I'm just going to show you what I'm doing, and I'm using, like I'm saying, if I do something like this, I use the products that I have mostly old stock of something that I have, like the alphabet stickers I'm using here is for the better part of 10 years or 15 years even old. So I am using what I have. And as always, even if it's a sticker, I still use some glue to make sure it sticks and it stays there. Like I said, tonight I'm going to fussy cut all the labels so that my book can fill up and be wonderful. Back to my Easter looking for the video that I originally saw on this project, and I know I'm not pronouncing this right, I can just imagine, but it's Bollenet Art, and it seems like her name is Susanna. She's from Germany, and the whole video is in German, so I did not understand a word, but I can follow the pictures. So when I found the video, I looked at the end again to make sure what she did at the end, and then I saw the mistake she made. Of course, I couldn't understand what she was saying, but I made exactly the same mistake. So when I glued the last page on here, oh, and then I'm not putting on the ring light because it's just too light and it's reflecting on the board. So I hope the light is sufficient, and there's a bit of shadows there, but bear with me. So when I glued it on here, and there was the tape that kept it all together. And then when I paged through this and I opened it in the end, the two back pages, there wasn't enough space. I'm not going to try and explain that. I cut it loose. So what I'm going to do, and it's exactly what she did, I'm going to use a piece of fabric to put these two together. So I'm not exactly sure how it works, but I'll figure it out. And once I figured it out and I know what to do, I'll come back with the video and show you what I did. But in the meantime, I need to figure this out.